If somebody's walking up and down a corridor again and again, you often hear it referred to as wandering. But what if it isn't just wandering? What if it's walking with purpose? What if it's searching or soothing or trying to complete a job their brain still believes they need to do? Because once you label it, you stop asking what it means. Hey there, this is the Able to Care podcast, and I'm Andy Baker. And this episode is for anyone supporting somebody living with dementia. But maybe the principles stretch far beyond. And as you're listening to this, maybe you could recognize any repetitive behavior. Because any repetitive behavior is often a sign of an unmet need. Somebody is trying to gain a benefit from the behavior that they're doing. So let's take our scenario today. It's late afternoon. A resident starts pacing. They check doors. They ask the same question. I need to go home. I need to go home. But staff are busy. Someone says, you live here now. You live with us. This is your home. Somebody else tries, stop walking. You're making me nervous. Or tries to limit them walking because what if they fall? And now the pacing turns into agitation, a raised voice, an argument, a standoff, an incident report. So the first thing we need to think about is the assumptions we make to the challenge itself. We assume correcting the facts helps, right? Don't they know that if they were to sit down, they'd feel better? Don't they know they could fall? Don't they know that this is their home? Don't they know that they're how old they are and therefore their children are all grown up and they don't need to get home and find them? Don't they know they don't work anymore, so they don't need to go to work? Don't they know they don't drive anymore, so they don't need to find their car? But if the person is anxious, facts don't land as reassurance. They land as conflict. They land as confrontation. Also, we're assuming that the pacing is pointless. If somebody is walking around, it's just kind of one of those things that people deem as just part of the condition. But any behavior is rarely pointless. And it's often to do with regulation. It's to solve a problem. It's either to meet a need or to cope with stress. All behavior is. It's just a strategy. In my model, when we're looking at the human motivation triangle, we always look at that. An unmet need creates a stress. Stress creates a need. And the strategy that we're seeing in front of us is a way of either coping with the stress or a way of meeting the need. Now, sometimes if there's no strategy available, we're going to go into our reflexes. And those reflexes are our fight and flight. And walking with purpose could be a sign of flight response. They're trying to escape. They're feeling under threat. They're feeling frightened. So they're just trying to get out. But it could be a way of meeting that need and coping with stress. And the principle is, well, we need to become a better detective than judge. We need to figure out what could be causing this. So here's a simple process you could potentially run through quickly. See, feel, need, do. So first off, what exactly is happening? When does it happen? Is there anything that changes just before it happens? Does it tend to happen at certain times of the day more than other times of the day? Does it tend to happen in certain areas? Does it tend to happen on certain shifts? Does it tend to happen at certain parts of the year? We're looking for patterns in the behavior. So next is we feel. What emotion could be going on underneath this? Is there an emotion that's driving this? Is it fear? Is it urgency? Is it boredom or restlessness? Is it loneliness? They're looking for a friend. They're looking for a connection. Is it a case of discomfort? So then we're going into needs. What might they actually need right now? Now, there's some studies that are quite interesting regarding sensory processing disorder, for instance. So many people don't realize that, obviously, as far as the senses, we tend to think of, obviously, what we see, feel, hear, smell, taste. But we've also got balance is one of our senses. And all of our senses are affected with things like dementia. But it's also affected in those with neurodivergence, for instance. So therefore, somebody with autism. So a lot of people assume that if my vestibular system is dysregulated, a lot of us kind of think that it requires less work to manage our balance if we were sat or stood still. But actually, it takes a lot more work to sit than it does to move. Think about riding a bike. It's much easier when the bike's in movement than it is when it's static. Human beings cope better with constant velocity rather than changes in velocity. So there is some ideas about walking could be a way of regulating the sensory system as well. They feel dysregulated. They feel like they're out of touch with their own body, and therefore walking helps them to feel more regulated. So it could be around comfort. It could be because their bottom hurts when they're sitting down for a long time, or they're feeling uncomfortable by sitting. It could be connection and looking to find somebody to talk to, or they're looking to find, and this is a group this week was talking about that with an individual who walks behind the staff all the time. And I was pointing out exactly why they do this, because the position allows them to see where the staff member is, makes them feel safe. Maybe it gives them a sense of purpose, that they need to find something, they need to do a job, they need to get up and get on with something. I like a lion like anybody else, but sometimes I reach that point in the morning where it's a case of I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to get on. It could be around just movement itself, just wanting to stretch my legs. Or it could be safety. I feel unsafe. It could be what's to do. What's the smallest when we're looking at the do? So we notice what we can see. What's the pattern? What do we think my feeling might be? Or what might the need be? And then do. Okay, what can we do about this? What's the smallest supporting action that meets the need without a power struggle? So for somebody who's walking through corridors, the do might be walk with them. Okay, give them that connection and companionship. It could be redirect to a purposeful task. Talking a lot with a group this week about trying to provide activities that actually matter to the person. Hey, would you mind helping me with this for a second? Could you help me check the dining room for a minute? Would you mind carrying this for me? Would you mind taking that down there for me? And giving them something to do. Maybe we could provide them with a familiar object, or an object that they often engage with, or a memory cue. Okay, maybe there's a book they absolutely love, or maybe there's I've done it before with I always think a clipboard is a great thing to carry around with some papers on it, because many people will go around and start looking at things with the clipboard, feeling they have a purpose at that point. Or you can ask them just take it somewhere. Do we need to reduce noise or stimulation? Maybe they're walking away from too much stimulation. They're trying to go somewhere quieter and trying to get some peace and quiet. Maybe they're looking and searching for food or the toilet or something like that. So let's look at when we're going through the help model, which is it human? They're looking for some kind of connection or a person. Is it emotional cognitive? They're frightened, or they're trying to do something. They're trying to do a job. Is it location? Something about the environment was unsettling for them. They're trying to escape. Or physical? They're hungry. They're thirsty. They're in pain. So then we could create a safe walking route rather than just trying to stop them from walking. Maybe if they're walking a certain way, we know there's lots of handrails and lots of support. It's a much safer place or way for them to be. The aim isn't to control the movement, it's to reduce the distress. So if this happens, let's say most afternoons, don't treat it like a surprise. Start building a plan. I remember one home that I worked with where they used to do a walking time. So just after lunch, after everybody had eaten, they'd kind of get everybody up going for a bit of a walk around the home. They'd set a set route. They'd put arrows out. Some of the staff would be walking with the residents' home. Some of them would kind of be pushing residents in wheelchairs. Obviously, some residents were walking the opposite direction or doing all sorts of different things. And that is absolutely okay. But they actually found that community activity, getting everybody walking at the same time, it actually then helped people settle. People slept better at night. It improved well-being. So we should be asking and building a plan. Is this tiredness, hunger, pain, too much noise? Is it boredom or lack of stimulation? Is it loneliness and they're looking for connection? Is it the environment's too busy or too confusing? And then adjust the day. A small, purposeful activity at the right time can prevent the whole cycle. Maybe if we know what they used to do, by giving them that to do before they start walking, we've got a better chance of keeping them where we feel they're safe. So, no matter what sector, the principles that I've just referred to of following that see, feel, need, do principle, for instance. What are we seeing? What's the pattern here? What do we think they might be feeling, or what do we think they're needing to achieve, or that unmet need in that moment? And what could we get them to do to achieve those things in a different way? So stop asking, how do I stop this? And start asking, what need is there? If you found that useful, please like, comment, and share. Have you ever encountered an adult or child's behaviour that has felt difficult, overwhelming, or challenging? Have you sometimes felt at a loss of what to do, or know that you didn't handle it quite right? People are complex and unpredictable, and their behaviour can be like the weather. We've all made the mistake of looking out the window and feeling safe to wear shorts, but 5 minutes later wishing for an umbrella. What if, like a weatherman, you understood how humidity, temperature, and pressure all come together to cause the weather, allowing you to better prepare, predict, and respond, and prevent ever having a picnic ruined by a thunderstorm ever again? My book, called Targeting the Positive with Behaviours that Challenge, helps you to become the weatherman of behaviour. It provides you with a toolkit to increase competency, confidence, resilience, and empathy, so you feel more assured about how to respond to distressed or dysregulated behaviours in others, including those affected by trauma, mental health, neurodiversity, learning disabilities, or dementia. Build better connections, achieve de-escalation, and improve outcomes for yourself and those you engage with my celebrated 6-stage target model, a step-by-step process to reduce distress for everyone. Discover my empowering, person-centered guide in Targeting the Positive, written by me, Andy Baker, available from online bookstores worldwide. Find a link in the description and order today.